Hey guys, welcome back. This is your girl, Phoenix Alexander, the most fabulous disabled woman you know. And I'm here today to talk about cavities. What are they? Where do they come from? How you can prevent them? And you can actually do something to kind of hold them off for a while before you're able to get to the dentist. So let's get started. So first of all, cavities slash caries, which is what most dental professionals call it, is essentially what happens when you allow too much plaque and tartar to build up on the surface of your tooth for too long. And because it's so acidic, it begins to eat away at the enamel, which is that nice white shiny layer of your tooth, into what is known as the dentin, which is a much more softer bone-like material inside of your tooth. And if it continues on, it actually goes down into the nerve of your tooth, and you'll wind up having to get what is known as a root canal. And it's very painful once you get a cavity that goes all the way down to the root. It hurts, okay? So initially, when you first get a cavity started, you will have a white patch on your tooth. Some people, it looks a little grayish. It depends on the actual color of your teeth. But you will notice a patch where the cavity is getting ready to start. And that is where your tooth is starting to demineralize. And decay is starting to kind of weasel its way into the tooth. So it's really white, it's patchy, and you can actually stop it before it turns into a full-blown cavity at this point. You could do religious brushing, flossing, and remineralize that tooth. That would be getting a fluoride treatment from the dental office, or you can even use ACT fluoride mouth rinse. That one is really good at putting some minerals back into your tooth. What is it called? Enamel toothpaste is another one that's really good at putting minerals back into your teeth. And after a few months of you taking care of that tooth, that white part will go away, and you have prevented yourself from getting a cavity. So good job, y'all. But if you're watching this video, you didn't do that. So let's continue to talk about what your cavity probably looks like. So if you don't catch it while it's early, in most cases, this is what happens in between your teeth. If you're not flossing, food gets stuck in there and the food will start to break down like it does in any other situation. It's very acidic and you get cavities in between your teeth. So with those, they tend to go on much longer before you realize it, because your front teeth, you're going to see them. You smile every day. You notice when something's wrong. You up in the mirror trying to fix it. But usually in between your teeth, you can't really see it. You're not paying it any mind.
A few moments later.
And so that little white spot will turn into a small cavity. And I'll have a picture right here. And when a dentist looks at it on an x-ray or a radiograph, it'll look just like this. And that will let us know, okay, yeah, you got decay going on in between your teeth. And if we catch it early, it's a very quick fix to go in there and fix that. And as long as you are flossing, you are good as new, and that tooth will probably not give you any issues. Now, assuming you're unable to catch it at that point, and you get to the point where the tooth starts to hurt, that's where the problems come in. Generally with cavities or caries, when they start to hurt, it is because of cold, hot, or sweets. And you'll usually notice it. You'll be eating something sweet and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that hurt a little bit. That's because you got a cavity in that area. Now the enamel has been eaten into, and the decay is now into the dentin, which is very sensitive. It's really mushy and soft. So at that point, it's really easy for the decay to get in there and really wipe that whole tooth out from the inside. And that's when you're stuck having to get crowns and root canals, which we will definitely get into in the next video. I wanted to kind of do this in an order that would make sense for, you know, when you're having issues, how it escalates. So once your cavity gets to a certain point, unfortunately, you'll have more cavity than tooth, and that'll look like this. So once it gets to that point, you're kind of in a crappy situation. You're no longer going to be able to just get a filling to take care of that. In which case, nowadays, most teeth can be filled with a beautiful tooth-colored material. No one will even know that you had a filling. Dental work has come so far. When I was younger, you had big old silver fillings, and I still have a few from when I was younger that I was still able to, maintain really well. But nowadays, you get a nice, pretty white filling that matches your tooth. You don't have to have an ugly metal filling. But anyway, you will have so much decay in that tooth that by the time the doctor goes to take all that decay out, your tooth will just look like a crater. You then have to get what's called an inlay or an onlay. So essentially what the doctor will do is they will cut the decay all out of your tooth. They have to make sure that they don't leave any decay whatsoever in that tooth, because if it's in there, it's going to grow and you're going to wind up losing the tooth anyway. It makes no point. So they take all the decay out and you're wind up left with a tooth that kind of looks like a inverted puzzle piece area. So then what they do is they take an impression of that area and they form a perfect match for that, a puzzle piece that fits right into that tooth, and they cement it in, and that essentially is going to cover the area that was taken away from the decay. Once you get an inlay, an onlay, or a filling, you have got to maintain that area. That tooth is not going to be able to take another cavity and put another filling on the other side. It's going to be too much. In which case then, once it gets really bad, you're stuck getting a crown. And that's where they literally have to shave away all of the tooth that has any kind of decay on it and make a cap for that tooth. It looks just like your original tooth, only it's made out of ceramic or some kind of white metal. And if your money is not really there, they might give you a metal crown, in which case they don't look good, but they still serve the purpose. It covers the tooth. And once you get that tooth taken care of, you have got to brush and floss it. You got into your position because you weren't brushing and flossing. So you have to make sure you brush and floss to make sure you don't get into this predicament again. Dental work is expensive and it's painful. And you want to be able to eat what you want to eat without your damn teeth falling out. So just take care of your teeth. Now, here are some things that will actually help you get cavities. You will be the king or queen of cavities if you do this. So you want to watch out for these items over here. And in addition to these items over here, I'm going to add the list of energy drinks. A lot of people get a lot of decay nowadays because of energy drinks. They are full of carbs and sugar. Even the low sugar energy drink still has a ton of carbohydrates. And carbohydrates turn into sugar. And all that does is create a bunch of plaque on your teeth. It's hard to clean and it leads to cavities. It is so hard when you're bathing your teeth in a sugary drink all day long. So what you want to do is, if you're going to get a sugary drink, chug it down and get it done. Don't sip on it all day long, because sipping will create cavities. If you have a dry mouth issue, you want to get that handled. Nowadays, there are a lot of amazing things that you could do for a dry mouth, but a dry mouth is a breeding ground for cavities. Cough drops, especially in the wintertime. A lot of us will find ourselves with a lozenge right here on the side, just chilling under your tongue, just chilling. That lozenge is literally eating away at your teeth the entire time it's in your mouth. And I know it's tough. Like, you got a cold, you're snotty, you need something. In which case, you can go ahead and use these things, but just be aware that for 30 minutes, your teeth are under attack from all the sugar and the acids. And it takes about 30 minutes for your saliva to even everything out. So after that 30 minutes, you want to go on ahead and brush your teeth or rinse, or at least, get in there and try to move that plaque around so it's not just sitting there creating an issue. But cavities don't happen overnight. it takes months of neglect. And so don't expect there to be a quick fix without you changing your hygiene habits. So I hope this helped you guys out. So definitely take care of your oral hygiene, and I will catch you guys next time where we will talk about the glory of root canals, my favorite thing to do. I know I'm weird, whatever. Catch you next time. Bye. Alexandernewtron.